Yeah, she's here.
Call the meeting to order. Ask you to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic, stands one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice. First item tonight is years of service recognition for Jim Lammers for 15 years of service. So we've got a nice plaque here for him, but I think he's got a gift coming later. So we're not going to do this on the. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Tonight's consent agenda consists of the following items. Item A, City Council work session, August 15th. City Council regular meeting, August 15th. Item A or B, appoint the following to seasonal part-time public works positions for the period of November 1st, 2023 through March 31st, 2024. Mr. Todd Huck, Mr. Roy Sherping, and Mr. Ryan Chatterton. Item C, authorize the mayor to execute 20-2024 joint and cooperative agreement for ongoing weekend use of law enforcement personnel and equipment with the city of Leicester Prairie. Item D, authorize the city administrator to approve proposals from Computer Integration Technologies Incorporated for the purchase of 2 computer replacements for $3,143 and for an additional warranty in support of existing server for $1,579. Authorize the city administrator to approve additional labor costs as needed for installation of said products. Item C, approve the pledged securities that Security Bank and Trust Company has purchased for the city of Winston for the month of September 2023. Item F, approve the building permit report for the month of September 2023. Item G, approve the financial report for the month of August 2023. And item H, approve the claims list for October 17th, 2023. That's the consent agenda. I'm looking for a motion to approve.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Under new business, Winston Municipal Airport runway seating option. Neil?
Yeah, so as you all know, we have had a few dry years, and we've been trying to come up with the different solutions to improve our runway. The latest, I guess, seating option is the most economical, and what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to drill seed half of the runway. We still have to get FAA approval to shut down half the runway. We're looking to do the south half. We were out there today looking for approval to do, like I said, the south half of the runway for $5,800, along with $900 from Wellens for the fertilization of the runway. That's a change that was put together by, or I guess recommended by Bolton and Mink, just that we have one vendor that is going to provide that service for us out there instead of having 2.
Any questions for Neil?
No.
Neil, do you have anything else to add?
No, just that it will be funded from the Airport Improvement Fund.
There's no other questions. I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion to consider to approve the quote from Wellens Erosion Control in the amount of $6,700 for the drilling of seed turf mix and fertilization of the south half of Winston Municipal Airport runway.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Come to the organization report, Winston Public Library.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Thank you for inviting us here this evening. My name's Katie Hiltner. I know half of you, so I thought I'd better introduce myself. And you all know Lisa Ebert. Since we've last spoke for our yearly update, it's been another good year of business at the library. I enclosed in your packet a snapshot view of the library that I put together. I had the opportunity to talk about the library at a Pioneer Land Board meeting, and I thought this was a good way to showcase what makes the Winstead Library unique and a fun place, kind of a standout library. As I said, we know that it's a storefront location and central location, and it provides important services, but this is some of the details that make it a standout library. Lisa, for her Winstead brochure, by the way, I'm referencing you, taglines the library as being a small-town library with worldwide access. The Winstead Library staff is dedicated to providing its patrons with personalized service. And looking at that and the uniqueness of the library, because of Winstead's location close to the Twin Cities, we're really close to Great River and Carver County libraries. So just to give you some figures to give you an idea of where we sit. According to the 2022 annual report, we had 978 registered borrowers. 113 of these were actually reciprocal borrowers, which means they come from outside of the area of Winstead. They actually come here to get materials from the Winstead Library, aka Lisa's Library. I'm just going to say it because it's going to come out anyway. She knows that every time I do this, like Lisa's Library. And just as a reference, that's actually of the 31 libraries in Pioneer Land, that's the fourth highest of reciprocal borrowers. It goes Hutchinson, Wilmer, Glencoe, and then Winstead, which I think is really impressive for the size of library that we have. Since January, we've added 37 new patrons, and again, 10 of these are reciprocal borrowers. So she's pulling in from a broad area. And kind of a fun fact, because I came with numbers for the mayor, between January and September of this year, we've had 3,484 visits. I think we're on track to being higher than last year. Last year's total was 3,755. We're only in September. We've got October, but that went through September. We've got a couple more months to go, and I imagine it's just going to keep growing. So that's excellent news. Along with the great service, another feature of the library are the variety of programs. Lisa puts together sidewalk story walks, which are posted on the front windows. There's a photo there of one of the summer ones she had done. Along with story walks, she creates make and take craft kits weekly. And this one amazed me. As of September 2023, the library staff has distributed more than 1,500 take and make kits. That's a lot of paper cutting that's going on. A lot of happy families, daycares, etc. that come in. Free Book Fridays is another popular feature that Lisa introduced to the library. Honestly, when I subbed over there, people are like knocking down the doors to get to those book carts. It's crazy, rain or shine. They're like, where are the book carts? It's a total trend. This month is Booktoberfest, which is an annual event featured in October. Also pictured on this snapshot view of Winstead Library is the Library Commission's annual fundraiser, which is held each year during Winstead's Winter Festival. It used to be a silent auction, but now it's pivoted to a holiday market, and thank you, Steve Ebert, for all your contributions to that. So they sell homemade goods and have raffle changes. And what's nice about that is that the proceeds from that fundraiser silent auction support summer reading, winter reading, book page subscription, and craft. They're very creative at supporting the library. And of course, Lisa always does the annual adult winter reading program and summer reading program. But I think the unique feature is that she always puts her own spin on it, and it's not just for kids. A lot of libraries just focus summer reading on kids, and Lisa does it for all ages. And I started doing that in Hutch too. It's a good thing to do. Legacy programming is pictured on there as well. Just showed two of them. We had done a McLeod County Libraries program where we had a craft kit for all 4 libraries in McLeod County. And then this past April, we did a History of the Guitar Libraries Rock program over at the Arts Council building. And I wanted to do a shout out to them because the Winstead Arts Council has been just a fantastic partner. We don't necessarily have the space in the library, but we always have them available, or the Volmer room for programming. That's really good. Of course, there's always themed decorations if you walk in every season. And I like to think that, and I do think this, that Lisa and the staff, that the time they do it that, it's a high level of care. They really want to provide that welcoming environment for patrons and know that they're in Winstead and that you care. So whenever I come before you, I always want to say thank you for the funding that you provide the library. The funding you provide for collection development is very critical and very important, and we appreciate all that you do. I think last year I sat before you and said we would try to find funding again from other sources, and in June we did get a Prairie Lands grant for $500, which we put towards large print collection. It was for accessibility, and we were able to use that to expand the large print collection. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you to the city and county. The Winstead Library continues to hold strong as a contributing community business. Like all libraries, it's more than books and collections. It's even become more than a community center. I used to, when I first came into this job, I'm like, okay, we've got our books and we're going to focus on programming, but we're even more than programming and offering that for people. No matter the size or space allowed, library is considered a safe place for patrons to visit. They use computer printer access. For example, in Winstead, they've had 425 computer visits between January and September. So people are in there using the computer for printouts, stopping in. She has newspaper and magazine readers all the time, stopping in weekly. It's a neutral location, for instance, for supervised visits. That happens at the library. It's just a safe place to be. And honestly, it's a place for people to just feel recognized. They like to come to the library and know that they're part of the community, and Lisa knows them all by name. And I was telling Lisa this, and she's like, okay, this is what you're going to talk about. And she told me then, after I mentioned all those, like, hey, look at all the great things you do. She said that last week a patron reminded Lisa of some of the examples specifically that Winstead provides. For example, meetings. A patron used it earlier this fall to meet with someone to plan their church's 5th and 6th grade religious education curriculum for the year. The library staff has helped a small business in town with printing labels and packaging slips. And the library also partners with a local elementary school for its annual book walk so that, each student gets a new book. So I just think there's so many ways that the Winstead Library makes an important impact on the community. And thanks to your support. I know I do this every year, but it really, you don't often stop and take a step back. You just kind of, like Lisa says, this is just what we do. This is the work we do. But when you take a step back and you look at all these different features and you think about how the library fits into the community, and then you think about all that the city does, from the building rental to the book support to just having your staff, city staff, Neil, you don't know me yet, but just having city staff available, it's a really great service. So it's my once a year thank you. Thank you. Anyone have any questions? It's my fast and furious. Steve Ebert is used to this.
I know plenty.
What are the hours of?
They vary. It depends on which day. Monday and Wednesdays are long days. Relatively long. 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday and Thursdays are the morning hours, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then Friday is 2 to 5. And then Saturday we're open 10 to noon. So the people who are downtown to get their mail and pick up stuff.
Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
We've come to the open forum section of the meeting. If anybody has anything they want to address the council, up to the podium. Okay, we'll go to city administrator update and announcements.
Yeah, I just have a few here. We have elections coming up November 7th for the school referendum, and that means that our meeting will be on Wednesday, November 8th, and at that meeting, we will have the public hearing on chickens. Then you have, there's storm sewer work going on in town. If you haven't seen it yet, it will create hopefully very short road closures sporadically around the town. The one right now is in front of Blue Oak Car Wash and B&B right
Yeah,
now.
they were working on it at 6:15 this morning. They were out there working already.
Who told,
Well, that's good. They'll be done early.
who told you that?
I drove by.
Oh, you
They'll be,
got that early.
they'll be done early then. The EDA meeting for this month has been canceled, and actually, we won't have one next month either due to Thanksgiving. And then St. John's, we are nearing a start here, just trying to get the final T's crossed and I's dotted, so we are almost there.
Anybody have any questions?
Speaking of road closures,
Yep, that one's still closed.
do we have an idea of when the Herald Journal project is going to be complete?
I do not. I looked into that today. Well, Steve and I will know more probably tomorrow when we meet with the engineers. I believe what is happening is that they are going to wait to pave everything all at once. So when the pavers come in, it will be after we get the other storm drains.
So that same contractor is doing?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So a couple more days of driving around for you.
Right, it's a pain in the butt. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the Westgate residents don't care for the increased traffic. There are no sidewalks in there, right? So, and I noticed on social media today, there was a good deal of speculation as to when it's gonna be opened, and not a lot of people happy about it, so.
Well, if we find anything out, we'll put it on the website and get the word out. If you know any more.
Any other questions for Neil? Looking for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
I
Meeting adjourned.